presents the Modern Savage Podcast, Episode 41, LeRoii and the Fourth Dimension.
Like Columbus. And I'm like, dude, Columbus is... You would love Akron so much more. Like, in my opinion. Now, Columbus is cool, but it took me 4 times playing down there before we had a decent following. Like, our first time we were garbage. But I guess that's like anywhere else.
It is. And even, I always think change is good.
Yeah, well, it is. And that's the thing. We have this whole new sound now. Like, we don't even sound like... Nervous Aggression started out like kind of wannabe street punk. Mm-hmm. And then it kind of turned into a very unique sound, but very much punk. But, like, this new stuff, don't get me wrong, I love it. Like, I'm very happy with the way that we're going. But it's so much different from, like, our last whatever. Like, when we released This Is Ragecore... Alex and I had like 3 or 4 songs that we wanted to go onto it, but the time crunch was too much. You know, Blake only had like, 1 day a week to get caught up, whereas Alex and I would jam, me and him a couple days a week and we'd jam, right? So This Is Ragecore was actually kind of a rushed EP. It was very rushed. Like, we didn't...
And that's the latest one?
Yeah.
That's your best one.
I think so. I think so too, but I think we can do a lot better.
I do too.
Yeah.
Alex is becoming a hell of a songwriter.
He is, and I'm pretty much leaving music up to him because it's weird because he showed me, he just jams like a couple days ago. He had his guitar and he was showing me stuff, and originally I'm like, man, like maybe we should get, but then I hear what he has and I'm like, dude, that's so fucking good. And like and he's not, like, when it comes to, we have one of our songs that are going to be coming out called Rotting Away, title pending. But it's, like, very much kind of like a old school traditional hardcore feel. And, like, what he had in his mind for drums is totally different than what this dude Steve wrote. But it's, like, what Steve wrote is fucking awesome. And Alex is on board with it, too, so... It's seeming to work out.
Alex is one of those really, really unique guitar players where he is absolutely full throttle amazing at lead.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the kid can write too.
Yeah, he can.
He has a good sense of rhythm and timing, and it's very unique.
Yeah.
And man, I don't know. Like I've seen in the past 8 to 10 years, like playing locally, you see the Guitar Hero generation kids just come up through the woodwork and they can just fucking play like fucking lightning.
Yeah.
And,
that's true.
Yeah.
Every one of them can play lead.
Alex actually had like lessons and stuff, which really helps he understands music theory.
Yeah.
I don't know if he like took class or was just like an extracurricular thing in school or whatever, but he understands music theory.
I don't.
I can't read music. I've been a musician for fucking 16 years.
I took guitar lessons when I was young.
I never did.
But I didn't retain any of it. I just didn't care.
I mean, I can play guitar, kinda. Like, if I'm at the party and nobody there knows anything about music other than they listen to music sometimes, and I play guitar, they'll all think I'm really good. But, like, the second I'm around a guy who actually plays guitar, I fucking suck. You know what I mean? I'm that dude. So, same with bass and, but drums. Like, I used to play, back when I was in high school, I used to come home from school. I didn't watch TV, I didn't play video games, and normally I'd hang out with my friends, but, like, for a while it turned into I wasn't even hanging out with people. I'd come home and play drums until my arms got tired, then I'd play guitar until... like my forearm or whatever hand got tired. And then I'd play bass until both my hands got tired. Then I'd switch back to drums. And I'd do that every day. And I did that for a whole school year, so like 9 months. So I got to the point to where I can play drums, but I'm not good at drums. And I can play bass and guitar, but I'm not good at bass and guitar. So the only thing that I was consistent with all my life is writing. I think that's the thing I'm best at. I don't, like, my sound, like... when I'm singing and stuff, I don't think it's that good. But like, I'm a very self-conscious person. I have a very low self-opinion in a lot of ways. But the one thing that I am proud of, and I will actually admit that I think I'm very good at is writing lyrics.
Nice.
I think I can write lyrics. And that's something even Alex compliments me on, is like, I've never met a lyricist like you, like blah blah blah. And I'm like, so if Alex is giving me these compliments and confirmations of my lyric writing, like,
Yeah,
I think I'm probably pretty good if a guy like on his level.
That's
know?
always important too.
Absolutely.
And especially if you're comfortable with it.
Like,
Yeah.
a mutual respect is vital for anything like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like-
And that's the thing, like, Steve is like,
Well, and
he's such a good drummer.
and
I'll have to,
about
after
Alex
this,
is-
I'll have to show you something from Steve.
And that's what I respect about Alex. Because Alex doesn't know, I don't think, that he's the best one in the room.
I think he does.
I mean, like, I think he does on some level, but I
Yeah.
don't think he believes it.
I think he does. I think Alex, it's weird. I think he does, but it's not, like, in a bad way. You know what I mean? Like, he
Yeah.
doesn't... I think when I first started jamming with him, he was like, he didn't want to hear anybody else's input. Kind of like how I was, too. I didn't want to hear anybody else's input either.
no,
I
you
wanted to
never
write
did.
all our songs. But, Alex and I jamming... Theo was really the one who broke me of that anyway. I can't speak for Alex. I feel like it was good for Alex, too. The way Theo was like, let me say something too, man. And, like, Theo would have some good shit and everything like that. And, I think Alex now, from an outsider's perspective, I think he knows exactly how good he is, but he doesn't make anybody else feel like shit for
No.
it. You know?
He's, he might be confident in himself.
I think he's
enough
confident,
to-
he's not cocky.
Yes.
I think he used to be cocky and not as good as he is now, but he was still pretty fucking good. You know what I mean? And, like, you couldn't really knock him for being cocky, because he's really just musically inclined.
And it really broke my heart to know that I've been playing guitar for like 8 years longer than this kid, and he just smokes me in every single...
Yeah, he's just, it's almost like he's autistic for music.
He's like the Rain Man of this.
Yeah, he kind of is, dude.
Like, you just see
He
him,
gets
like, his hair falls to his face, and he just goes somewhere
and he
else.
goes out, and that's the way he plays live too. Like, his stage presence has always been good, you know. Especially recently. You care if I hook myself up with one of them bad boys? I'm gonna Alex Jones your podcast, dude.
It's okay.
But
Get the whiskey out.
yeah.
So now it's gonna be fucking.
The country's run by pedophiles! Jesus!
You know what was scary
Yeah,
is
they
there
run.
was some merit to that. That's what's scary about that.
Well, what's scary about it is that, dude, it's so obvious that his shows now has just become a show.
Yeah,
Like,
it's entertainment pretty much now.
Yeah, he just does it he knows he's outrageous. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's still fucking insane, but a lot of that podcast reminded me of, like, the old him, when, like, he would make coherent thoughts and
Yeah.
shit, and would really make you think about
Yeah.
shit.
And now he just yells about the turn the frickin' frogs guy.
They're frogs gay.
Yeah.
You don't know about that?
No, I don't...
That's an actual
putting-
quote.
They're putting chemicals in the water. Let's turn the freaking frogs gay. Like, he's like,
That's a real quote. Like,
he's
that's-
fucking. But I think that's an act. I mean, he really is crazy because he's, like, big in conspiracies and shit. But
yeah.
the black helicopters are surrounding the building.
Yeah. That's like, dude, you would think, though, if he had that much, if everything he said was right, he'd be dead now. You know what I
Oh,
mean? If
yeah.
everything he said was
Someone would kill
100%
him.
factual, he'd be dead now.
Nah, he's right wing
You know.
guy now.
You know, for a while he accused Joe Rogan of being a disinformation agent, and now he's buds with Joe Rogan. That's funny to me.
I-
Well,
no idea
because
what happened.
he was pissed. They was like, for like the last year or so, they were
he was
both.
pissed that Joe Rogan was rational.
Yeah. Well, really, what he started the shit talking is that every time they would see each other, Joe would be like, "Come on the podcast," and then, you know, he'd be like, then I'd go to LA and I'd text Joe, and he never fucking texts me back or whatever. And then,
Yeah.
and it turns out, like, before the podcast, you know, how Rogan does that thing, like he does that pre-show where they're just hanging out. Rogan was like, dude, you were texting the wrong phone. He goes, that's what happened. So it was like, I don't know, they must have talked about it before for him to even to come on, because he was just like, you know, Joe's not my friend or whatever. He like did this Reddit AMA
Yeah.
and was like, "You have known Joe a long time, but we're not really friends anymore." Because like he was pissed at him.
Yeah, he was.
Because
For not like returning his call.
Yeah, because
and then Joe Rogan has him come back on episode 9/11.
Yeah,
It's
like he
perfect.
like
Him
planned and plotted that.
Yeah.
and like it was so totally obvious that their chemistry, like you just lied for the last year. You didn't like this guy.
Yeah.
The whole time he was like, "You're such a smart guy."
He's
Joe."
he's reminds me of a guy who just jumps to conclusions.
He
Just
does.
Fucking like he takes
Looking for-
everything at face value, which everything can't be taken at face
Right.
value.
Looking for Pepe Sylvia.
What's Pepe Sylvia? Is this something I'm gonna have to spend 3 hours on YouTube to figure out what it is?
Yeah.
Or is this okay?
I don't know. He's fucking crazy. But yeah, it reminded me of old him because I used to watch Alex Jones. Not like I was into him, but like I'd be like mostly to laugh because
Yeah.
he is funny. He's really
He is pretty.
he is funny.
yeah.
But like back in the day,
He had Immortal Tech. I remember I got, not to cut you off, but I got slightly into Alex Jones when I was like at the fucking pinnacle of my conspiracy theory.
Oh,
shit. I
yeah, me
found
too.
Alex Jones.
Yeah.
And he honestly kind of turned me away from it. And like, you know, I'm a huge fan of this dude, this rapper, Immortal Technique, and he had Immortal Technique on.
I remember
and
that.
like every time Immortal Technique started talking about real shit, it seemed like he just turned the conversation away to what his agenda. And
oh
it's like,
yeah,
man, like Tech actually knows what he's talking about. You know what I mean? And Alex Jones is a very smart guy. I think he knows what he's talking about, but he's got that confirmation bias of just like looking for what he wants the answer
Yeah,
to be.
yeah, I agree.
And the human mind is built to connect dots.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's something you got to understand. And it's amazing to me that Alex Jones has never done any psychedelics. I think he should do some psychedelics.
well, didn't Rogan tell him to? I think he was like,
He asked him, he was like, "You ever done DMT?" And he's like, "I don't need to, man." And he's like, "Do you want to do DMT?" Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah. But he's like, "No." And it's like, dude, Alex Jones out of everybody should do... Because if he like... Because I think he's... You know, not everybody in the world should do psychedelics, but I think if Alex Jones did psychedelics, it would bring him to a point of like actually delivering some truth than instead of looking for everything that's wrong with whoever...
Yeah, maybe it'd
you
bring
know,
him back
whoever's
on,
not
'cause
Trump.
I-
you know?
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know what DMT is, but it sounds wonderful.
I've done it. It's intense.
Is it as bad as LSD?
I'll tell you this. So I've done a lot of research on it before I ever did it.
Okay. Yeah, because like I've watched a documentary on it.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
the one on Netflix.
Was it the
Yeah.
one with Rogan? Was the
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good documentary, I think. I've done it once. I'll tell you this. They say the best way, and I've done research a lot of shit past that too. They say the best way to do it is to freebase it, which is like put it on tin foil and light it, and you know maybe have it taped to a 2-liter, or have a straw, or whatever.
Like a crackhead.
Kinda, yeah. So the way I did it,
feel
and
good
they
about
say,
this.
and Terrence McKenna says 3 to 5 hits, and then maybe take some acid too, and then you'll leave your body, or melt it down and inject it. You'll leave your body. I did it. I did 1 hit of it out of a rose pipe, and I only did 1. The guy who gave it to me was like, "This is a small hit for a long time user, but a very big hit for a first time user." And I did it, and I held it in, like I did it step by step, and as soon as I went, I was at the peak of an acid trip for 15 minutes. Like a very hard and clean, very good acid trip.
Not like gritty and stabby.
No,
like,
not at all.
It's never,
Not at
it's
all.
not supposed to ever be.
15 minutes, and then I was out of it.
Yeah.
Boom.
It doesn't
I was
last very
done.
long.
I wasn't.
Were you hungover from it at all? Like
No.
when you did like
I
salvia
felt
or some
honestly,
shit like that?
to be honest, I felt like a very mild like Percocet high or something like that afterwards.
Yeah, like
Very mild though, and it wasn't a bad one. It was like a very, I shouldn't say Percocet high because it wasn't I felt very relaxed and calm for a while. But like I drove home like comfortably. I don't like to drive when I get too fucked up. I drove home comfortably, and I even drank that night, and everything was fine. But holy shit, it was an experience, and like I want to do it. And the thing is, it's so hard to find, and like even if I found it, it's like I would have to question the credibility of
Yeah.
whoever's selling it to
Yeah.
me. You know, it has to be someone I trust that can get it. You know, but
DMT is actually already in your brain.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I know that.
It's in every living organism, even down to grass. And it's the most common way to get DMT is called the water extraction, which if you have a basic understanding of chemistry, which I have zero understanding of chemistry, you can cultivate DMT from water. And that's the most common way to get it, is extract the DMT from water. Yeah, that's the most common way.
No, it needed what, an inhibitor?
Yes.
Some kind. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you, man.
The way it works is
you can't just boil water and then add baking soda or something and then you have DMT. It's like it's a process.
Like the way it works, because it's already in you. Is our bodies have this, like, a hormone
That kind of breaks it down and
Yes.
makes it not DMT.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you're
when
not
you smoke
tripping out.
DMT, you're not actually smoking DMT. You're
smoking
smoking
the
something that
an
breaks it
inhibitor.
down to let DMT.
That's
It opens up your receptors.
It like activates it in a way.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not actually DMT because DMT.
And they say when you die, a huge amount of DMT is released. At the moment of death, a crazy amount of DMT is released.
like, hence the reliving your life.
Yeah, hence the reliving your life, or even, maybe that's the answer to the afterlife. Like, there's some people who believe, there's like the 16 minutes worth of DMT trip after you die, and then after that, it's nothing. And that 16 minutes is like an eternity, and that's heaven. That's a theory.
That's crazy.
Doesn't sound.
fucking
I can't.
like,
I'm
from
saying
what I'm
16
saying, like-
minutes. I don't know if it's some random amount of minutes over 10.
Right.
But
Like, from what I
That could be it,
understand,
though.
like, when you go out of this world with it, it's like having leaving this dimension.
yeah, that's the way I see it. You're shedding. It's kind of like a caterpillar thing because as a
Like you're
kinda,
peeling open the onion.
Yeah. Kind of like as your sperm cell, like I am no longer a sperm cell. You know what I mean? Like, so that sperm cell somewhere along the lines died when it infused with the egg of my mom. My dad's sperm cell died somewhere in that process. And then out of nowhere, this human grows. And then when this human dies, and I'm convinced that have you ever seen I'm into dimensions. I'm into you go into the next dimension. That's how I feel. Once you do what you got to do in the third dimension, you go onto the fourth dimension, and you're reincarnated to the point until you have enough knowledge to go to the fourth dimension. That's my theory. That's what lets me sleep at night without a fear of death anyway. I'm not saying that's right, and I'm not saying that's what everybody else should think, but that's what I think.
I just want to get down with some weird shit, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've always been interested in going inside my brain. I'm just doing
Being a psychonaut.
I just like getting lost in my brain. I'm not afraid of being in there.
Have you ever listened to any Terrence McKenna speeches or anything?
No.
You should. This guy he would go around to colleges and do speeches about psychedelics and what they do. He was actually a super well-educated scientist who tripped balls on the reg. That was his claim to fame. And he called himself a psychonaut, which is he was experiencing we're learning about space and we're learning about the ocean and we're learning about agriculture and stuff like that, but we're not really learning. We know very little about the human brain. Even now in 2017, we know this much about the human brain. Mm-hmm. For the listeners, I'm holding about a half inch between my fingers. We know this much about the human brain. And so what he would do is he would trip balls and bring it back in a scientific way. I saw he talks about the machine elves or the clockwork elves, whatever you want to call them, which are these beings that manifest to everybody from guys in the Amazon who still to this day have no access to television or the internet, to the most just a techie dude in Tokyo that just trips on DMT. They all manifest the same, very similar experiences and very similar entities they meet once they cross over. And I think that the fact that that's ignored by science is appalling. Seems like a pretty big discovery. A lot of these people are seeing the same shit, and they've never had a conversation. They're not told to say whatever, but they see the same thing.
And there's like a green woman too, isn't there?
There's like a glowing woman or something like that.
Like everybody's seen her. Like it's a common thing.
Yeah.
Maybe she's God. Or
See, that's what I want to know.
yeah.
Like, even if it's just some fucking thing inside my brain
Yeah.
that I can ask a question and it'll give me a fucking answer.
Well, that's the thing.
so
Why
I can
is
be
it
at
in my
peace.
brain then? Why is it in my brain? There's a reason it's in my brain. And your brain, and his brain, and everybody's brain. There's a reason. You know what I mean? I think that I'm pretty much an atheist in the sense of like, no, I don't go to church or, you know, I don't believe in organized religion and war and killing somebody because they don't agree with me.
Yeah.
It's just an outdated concept of what's God. That's something that worked 2,000 years ago, but right now we need a new idea of what's God. And a lot of people are more open to this now than they ever were before. Like, pretty much everybody I talk to, even if they've never done psychedelics, are like, I think that, you know, either they say there's absolutely nothing and when you die, you die. Which is fine with me, too, because if that's the case, then it's not going to matter. I'm just going to go to sleep and never wake up and not dream. Like, that's not scary to me. You know what I mean? That sucks compared to what could be, but that's not scary to me. But there's just as big a possibility of that happening as there is of some crazy cosmetic answer.
I like
you know?
the idea of jumping between parallel universes.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, consciously or not.
the multiverse theory, like
Yeah.
shit like that
Yeah.
shit's crazy.
Like,
You start reading about
That shit starts to hurt my head.
Oh, dude, yeah. That's stuff that I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah, I can't
don't
even.
know,
I haven't even gotten to a point to where I can.
Yeah. Like, I've
listen
just
to it,
now,
'cause
like,
I think about that shit, like, what if I split off from a universe, like, I split off this way because this one's dying.
yeah.
Like, because...
Well, kind of like my theory about, like, I was once a sperm cell, but I'm not a sperm cell. I have nothing in common with a sperm cell right now. You know, some biologist might school me and say I have something in common with a sperm cell, but we'll just say for the sake of argument, the uneducated guy, I have nothing in common with a sperm cell. I'm not microscopic. I'm like fucking 6'3", 6'4", and 300 pounds. And I have all 10 fingers and toes, and I don't have a tail, and I'm not even like an embryo anymore. Like, I'm a totally different being than I was, 24 years ago, 24 plus years ago. I'm a totally different thing. And, so who knows, 24... 34, 104 years from now, what am I going to be? I could be worm food, or I could be some fucking time traveling, space traveling, dimension jumping, super intelligent being.
You know,
could be. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
Could be. And that's what I'm
worst
saying. I'm not saying 100% that's what's going to happen.
No, I know. It's just, I don't know.
There's unlimited possibilities, and that's the one that intrigues me the most.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh,
See, what makes me dry heave in my mouth is the thought that you're saying as big as you are.
Yeah.
Now, on a great enough scale, we are microscopic.
Yeah, we are, yeah.
Now, what if I'm microscopic to something fucking else?
Yeah. Well, there's also that theory of, like, Earth is just like a cell and the universe is a whole living being. That we can't even,
I think
I'm
about
joking
that
that
shit.
maybe we're the beginning of a cancerous cell.
Yeah, we could be. Like,
I mean, it's really the possibilities around this.
we're killing the Earth.
Yeah.
As a human
Yeah,
race.
we
So
definitely
we
are.
could be, I mean, even I am with my fucking driving a vehicle that emits gas emissions and smoking a cigarette and,
It's
so
crazy.
we
It's
could be a
crazy.
cancer cell.
It's crazy
you know?
shit to think about. It's I don't know. I sometimes bum myself out thinking about it.
I
Especially
need
when you're trying to go to
thinking
sleep.
about this shit, though.
Well, then,
Well,
But this is-
it's definitely
this is-
interesting, but it just sometimes it just bums me out. It's definitely like when you're, it's definitely when you're trying to go to sleep.
Yeah.
But that's why I don't sleep sober. But anyway,
because I'm scared of my
I don't dream.
I can't sleep sober anyway.
But
so-
anyways, I sometimes bums me out because I'm just like, fuck, the universe goes on forever.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Well, that's...
I just
that-
like I can't. It's sometimes I have a hard
that
time
bums
wrapping my
me
head
out in a
around.
way, and that also motivates me. And it
Yeah, because
motivates
it's like
me in the sense,
it'll never stop. So that's cool. But then it's just like it doesn't ever stop. What the fuck?
Never,
You know what I mean?
ever.
yeah, like I'm nothing. Like there's at the end of the day, dude. In the grand scheme of things, dude, there's no difference between me dying in my sleep tonight. I choke on my vomit tonight, and I'm dead. Yeah. That would suck for you guys, I think, and that would suck for my family and the rest of my friends. But there's ultimately 100 years from now, there's no difference between that and a squirrel getting run over by a fucking car.
Right.
There's no difference.
There's no difference. It just
you know what I mean?
You're as worthless as a squirrel.
The one thing that I know for sure is I'm alive right now. And I have a life right now. And therefore, I think I should just try to have a good time all the time.
That's the best way to look
That's
at
the
it.
way I am. Yeah, I just try to have a good time all the time. And I guess the way for me to make a lasting impression to kind of live on past my expiration date.
Once you get to 25 and after, though,
Yeah.
especially closer to 30, you just start welcoming death.
Yeah. Yeah,
I did.
bet. Yeah.
And then I turned.
I used to be afraid of dying, then I became okay with it. Now that I'm close to 30, I'm just like,
I don't know, man.
Take
like
me.
I was
Please.
aware of mortality. I remember my dad was drunk one night, and I was like 3 or 4 years old, and he told me that everybody dies and that I'm gonna die one day. So I was aware of death for a very long time, and then like I've seen people die in front of me and shit like that too. So it's like I'm aware how fragile life is, and it's like so. With that being said, it's like, dude, why not fucking travel the world playing these songs that I helped write, and it makes other people's lives a little bit better, maybe. Like, I'll just do that because A, that's fun, and B, it helps other people. So it's like perfect storm of like, why not? That's the perfect storm of why not.
yeah, sure.
You know?
Sure.
I miss playing live.
I bet you do, man.
That's a really burpy.
I can't help it.
I've been
That's
drinking
not
for a
light beer.
while.
It is that fucking light beer.
Dude, any beer is tasty beer to me. All beer is tasty beer. Hashtag all beer matters.
I'm with the whiskey already.
I'm liking this. What is this a mixture or is
No,
this
this
just
is,
straight up something?
This is pie
because
hole.
this is really good. Pie hole?
Yeah.
It's a danger whiskey.
This is
Danger
really good.
whiskey.
It is because it
You can
tastes
drink
so
it.
sweet.
I drank an entire
really
bottle of this the night of my birthday.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. I mean, I had like a half, like about as much as I have
You
right
can drink
now
it
of
straight.
but
Yeah.
That's why it's,
Easily.
that's why it's
Easily.
danger whiskey.
We keep it in a little box and a decanter with whiskey glasses, all fancy.
I like it, dude. This is really
We're
good.
stepping up the podcast.
Okay, we got some whiskey here.
Listen, we made an agenda list, and so far we got this.
I'll tell you this, man. As my payment,
I'm like the piece of shit trash guy.
What?
I'm not all fancy. I'm just over here drinking beer.
I'm drinking both, so I'm like the fucking.
Would you like a whiskey?
Would you like?
I probably should have a whiskey. I feel
You want a
left
whiskey?
out. Let's have a whiskey.
Let me-
Fuck it.
Let me pour you.
good.
I got it.
There you go.
See you tomorrow.
No, it's not that. It's pretty good. Have you ever had rye whiskey? I've never known the difference between whiskeys, but Alex kind of does. He looks into shit more than I do. Like, if I like something, I like it. If I don't, I don't.
You're welcome.
Whereas he needs to know everything about it. And he had this shit called rye whiskey. It's called Bullet whiskey.
Wow.
And it's fucking fantastic. I mean, it's probably not. It's not as like smooth and tasty as this, but it's very smooth and tasty, and it's pretty fucking strong.
You know what the fucking killer thing is? This shit's like $13.50 for like a liter.
What?
Really?
Yeah. It's
What?
dirt cheap.
What's the fucking proof on it? What? How much?
What was it, like 78 or something like that?
Yeah, it's actually
78,
decently
80.
high because
Holy shit,
that's the first
dude.
thing I asked him. I was like, "What is it, like fucking 40?"
Yeah, really.
He was like,
that's
"No."
what I was
Yeah.
kind of thinking at first. Oh, honestly, what I thought is like,
this
Ruby got a
tremendously
hold of
smooth?
some like Jameson or something because it was your birthday was the first time I saw it, so I thought it was special. And I was like, okay, so she probably got like some good whiskey, and then added like cinnamon and sugar to it.
Nope, this is just, you buy it.
This is just straight up whiskey.
Yeah.
Wow. I can drink this.
For real cheap.
Yeah.
He's tapping it all in
Yeah.
like what time does
This is
liquor store
okay.
close?
Well,
He's like, oh,
where do you get it?
me and you.
I got it at Kroger.
Kroger? Okay. I wonder, they might have it at Giant Eagle then.
Most
Oh, I
likely.
bet they do.
It's in the
Probably.
whiskey section.
Well, they got a whole state liquor store at Giant Eagle downtown. The Dirty Bird is what I like
Oh, yeah?
to call it. Downtown Giant Eagle, Dirty Bird. That's the whole state liquor store down there. When you, as soon as you walk in, right turn, as soon as you walk in, all the booze, like the strong booze aisle, where you can get Everclear and fucking whatever you want in there, I'll bet you it's in there.
Oh, I'm sure it is. If Kroger's has it, Giant Eagle definitely has it.
Yeah.
There's a rumor that Kroger's bought out Giant Eagle anyway, so it's going to be a Kroger soon. So they probably definitely have it.
Oh, most likely.
I was going to say, I saw a Kroger down in Atlanta. I didn't see a Giant Eagle down in Atlanta. So...
You saw Kroger clear down there?
Yeah, it's called Murder Kroger. I think I told you about it on the podcast too. Murder Kroger.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
They're all over the place.
Some homeless guy was like following me.
They had like Food Lion and shit down that way.
Foodland's up here too.
I mean, I don't know what all they had. I know they had
Kroger's might own it though. That's the thing. The ones
same colors.
I can't. They probably own it because out west, I can't remember what it's called, but like it's Kroger's. It's just not called Kroger's.
Yeah.
But they own it. I can't remember what the fuck it's called.
That makes sense. I know out west. Oh man, I heard out west has this shit called Fat Burger, or whatever. Is that it? In-N-Out Burger and Fat Burger. I've heard of both. I don't know if Fat Burger's made up. No, I'm not thinking of Good Burger.
You're thinking of Big Boy.
I might. Big Boy, we used to have one. It might be just In-N-Out then. But yeah.
I had Carl's Jr. when I was out in Oregon. Which is Hardee's.
Yeah, it's Hardee's and Carl's Jr.
It's no big deal.
Dude, I had some...
But I was like, I told Sikoris, I was like, dude, I need Carl's Jr. because I haven't had Hardee's in fucking forever.
Yeah, that's true.
They have a Hardee's. The closest Hardee's I've personally seen to here was like an hour outside of Cincinnati. I mean, there might be one closer or something like that, but it was on some random interstate. And there was a Hardee's, and I was like, I've never had Hardee's. And we stopped at a gas station next to Hardee's because I couldn't afford Hardee's. and I grabbed a Slim Jim and a bag of chips.
That's so sad.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah. But no, I had either Hardee's or Carl's Jr.'s in one of the Carolinas, like last time we went to Atlanta on our way up.
Probably
we stopped at one of those.
I think it's Hardee's over here. Carl Jr.'s out there.
Over there.
Yeah.
It might be, yeah. I know they're the same thing.
What's the big taco place?
Del
Taco.
Del Taco, yeah, I had that when I was out there.
I've never had Del Taco. I've never been out west. I've never been farther west than Chicago.
I was in Seattle when I was very little, and May will be 2 years ago. I went to Eugene, Oregon.
Okay. I want to go. I want to visit Seattle so bad.
I would like to go.
Honestly, my retirement age, the day that I'm done with music is the day that I move to like Tacoma or like somewhere outside. I want to live in the middle of the woods and have like 10 dogs and hunt for food.
Yeah,
that's it. You know what I mean? And then like if I feel
you're gonna be Wolverine,
pretty much. And I want to drive like an hour to Seattle and go bar hopping and get kicked out of a bar and then go back to my woods with my dog. That's it. That's my retirement plan.
He's gonna become a fucking logger.
Probably. You see the flannel?
Yeah.
Is that adamantium skeleton?
I was in Portland.
I wish I did, man. I broke so many bones.
I was in Portland for one of the... Well, okay, so I landed in Portland. And so we spent the next day in Portland.
Okay. How was... when were you in Portland?
2 years ago. It'll be 2 years in May.
Okay.
So Portland was cool.
So
it was cool.
Around the time when everybody found out it was cool and moved there. So like right before it got shitty.
It was even kind of like
in the beginning.
It was already hipster central when I was there.
I mean, it's
been hipster central forever.
Forever.
But yeah,
there was this dude I played
with. It's definitely people already knew it was like it's a cool place to be.
Yeah.
Oh, I bitched. Well, Chris brought it up on the podcast. The one he was on. He was like, how many times in the car were you just fucking disgusted at people?
I gotta see you now, just sitting in the backseat of a car going...
He still brings it up. That's why he brought it up in the podcast. I sat in the back of the car and was like, hipster trash. Because I said they're all fucking riding their bikes and they're fucking cool fucking...
I don't even have a DUI.
I got plaid on.
Yeah.
The sad thing is, I'm dressed. I got my plaid on.
Right.
And Chris is like, we're leaving the hotel, and he's just like, eyeing me up. He's just like, you're gonna fit in with them.
Yeah, I was gonna say you might actually
probably wearing girls' sunglasses.
So I had real sunglasses on.
Well, I
have to wear girls because they're oversized and they fit my big head.
Dude, girl sunglasses are like more practical, I think.
Oh,
that's why I got a pair of women's sunglasses. When I worked at the nursing home, there was this lady who bought me some girl sunglasses. Like I don't think she knew. Like, she was I worked at the nursing home. She lived at the nursing home. And she was like, you're the driver, and I'm going to buy you some. Because I was, like, real sweet to everybody who worked there. Because I'm, like, nice to everybody. And she's like, I got you some sunglasses. You're the driver. You can need them. And I took one look. I'm like, those are female sunglasses. But I didn't give a fuck, dude. And I wore them every day. That, like, because, like, she's like, oh, you got... Because it meant so much to her that I was wearing those sunglasses. And I wore them every fucking day. Except for, like, on, like, the super rainy, cloudy days. But I wore them, like, every day. She's like, oh, you're wearing my sunglasses. I'm like,
if they're not...
But they were practical, though.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
they worked. They were bigger, so, like,
Yeah.
they worked. And, like, I didn't give a fuck. People laughed at me, but I don't give a fuck.
Well, and I don't know, half the time, if they're not ridiculous...
They weren't ridiculous.
They were ridiculous?
They were not. They were obviously girl sunglasses, but they weren't, like, fucking Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, not, like, ridiculous like that.
See, I would do shit like
that.
that.
I mean, I would too.
Like
I would too, but like, I'm trying to say that half the time, like, just regular girl sunglasses look cool anyways.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
Besides, I think that's what I was like, not the ridiculous shit, but like,
yeah.
I used to wear them when I played live. Like,
I remember that.
I remember,
Because, like,
dude, I was always so
fucking-
fucked up when
like-
we played live.
Like, when I played?
Yeah, we played together, like, probably twice at least,
Something
2
like
or
that.
3 times. And I would always, before and after our set, I was in my van smoking blunts and drinking 40s. So, but I remember catching one of you guys' sets. I watched the whole set, too. I had a good time. I thought you guys were really good. And Josh Fry, yeah, he was like getting a pit going. And I was like, I'm so fucked up, I can't mosh. But like, and I was like, this isn't even moshing music either. Like, because when I mosh, I would like want to kick someone in the teeth. You know what I mean?
No, we had the friendly mosh pit.
Yeah, the fun. I think I jumped in for a minute, but I was always so fucked up. But I noticed you had sunglasses, but I didn't notice girl sunglasses. Let me.
Well, I wore those because, like, the crowd makes me uneasy.
Yeah.
So the less I see, the less I fucking care.
You know, the thing is, you want to know my technique for that? Crowd makes me uneasy, too, dude. I'm a very shy person.
It.
I'm a very shy... You know what I do?
like the feeling.
I look them right in the fucking eye, and if it's someone I feel like's judging me, I grab them by the shirt, like, and I fucking get, like, in their fucking face. Yeah, because... And that's the thing, they make me nervous, because I feel like they're sitting there... Like, if they're sitting there, and they're being polite and watching, and one of their friends says something totally unrelated that's goofy, and they kind of laugh and respond... And it's like not even, but I'm like, they're making fun of me. And like, I get in their fucking face and I'm like, I don't hurt them because it's like, I want them to come back. But like, I get in their face.
You probably
it's
shouldn't
like,
hurt them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I've hurt some, I've actually hurt some people.
Dude, nervous aggression is good, but LeRoi's a fucking dick.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's why he has to use that name.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because sometimes I do get a little carried away and sometimes I hurt people. But it's not like...
And good luck Googling fucking LeRoii Smith.
Exactly. There you go. Yeah. But it's not on purpose. It's not like one of those tough guy, you know... I have a lot of friends in crews that are really good guys, but there's a lot of guys in crews that are just douchebags. And it's not a... In that sense, it's not a crew mentality fucking... You know... Because the way I see it is like, I don't even consider us a punk band. Like, we play with punk bands all the time. Especially with them where our music's going now, we're not a punk band. But like, I don't consider us a punk band because I feel like a lot of people don't want to go to a punk show because only punks are supposed to be there. And if you're not a real punk, you might get threatened or whatever. And it's like, our music's for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, if you like our music, it's for you. You know what I mean? I just... That's one big thing about the whole punk thing that's actually been turning me off recently, is it's so exclusive, you know, and it's supposed to be. And
when things start practicing a large amount of exclusivity, it's
and honestly, there's bands out there, good bands and bad bands in this category, but most bands out there that have made it are like, they have like the perfect shiny leather with like the symmetrical studs and the perfectly spiked hair and the fucking piercings in all the right places and an Addicts tattoo and a Ramones t-shirt. Like, it's all the same fucking shit too. And like 90% of those bands that are like that too, and even some of them have like the tears are in the red, like they just look fucking punk. Like, this is what I wear every day, man. There's nothing wrong with that, because I met some like really good motherfuckers that is who they are. But there's a lot of dudes down there, like, if they look too clean, I don't trust them. Like, if their spikes are too symmetrical, I don't trust them. And it's like...
You give way too much of a fuck.
Yeah, you give way too much of a fuck, and your music is garbage, and everyone likes you. And it's not me being jealous, because I love to see my friends' bands do well. And even if they're not my friends, I just like to see good bands do well.
Yeah.
But there's some bands out there that are fucking garbage. That are like, dude, if I fucking shaved your head and put you... If you shaved my head and put me in, like, some Dockers and a polo, you would probably still say, that's a cool motherfucker, he gets it. But if I shaved their head, put them in Dockers and a polo, they would be a fucking nerd that you wanted nothing to do with. But because they look cool, everybody likes them. They got 1 million followers on Facebook and 100 downloads on fucking Bandcamp and, like, you know... And that's... The punk scene is supposed to be this free-thinking, you know, I can see past bullshit movement, but it's like so many people in that shit are like so blinded by who looks the coolest. It becomes a fashion show in a sense.
Oh,
because like, and
is.
you know, and I can usually tell the good cities because we'll go up there and like I'm the only one, and the only reason I dress this way is because I like to. I like the way I look, and it matches me.
You've been doing it since I've known you, and I've known you for... How old are you now?
24.
I've known you since you were about 17.
Yeah, and I've been doing it since before then, too.
Yeah, you've always been this guy. You've gotten older.
Yeah, I've gotten older, but I'm still this guy.
So you're not going out of your way to make...
I can't have a mohawk anymore because my hair's thinning a little bit up here. But other than that, I'm all for it.
You're just getting older, and it's fucking... You're not doing it for style points anymore so much.
No, I do it because, like, if I'm going to go have a good time... And that's how you can tell. If I'm going out and I'm going to go have a good time, I'll dress like this. But if I'm going to my mom's for dinner, or if I'm going to fucking go pay my bills or go get groceries, I'm going to wear some fucking, like, I got this, you know, purple hoodie or whatever, and, like, I'll just wear whatever's clean. Mm-hmm. You know, if I'm doing nothing that's... But if I'm going out to have a good time or whatever, I'll dress like this because I think a lot of people do that. They dress a certain... In my certain way, the way I feel like dressing up is, you know, studded vest and the fucking whole 9 yards and shit. And that's fine. And like I said, there's a lot of dudes who dress like this every day and they're real motherfuckers. But it comes to a point to where it's like...
Not practical?
It comes to not practical, and it also comes down to like... Dude, like, you're sitting here like you're a punk rocker, but it's like you're fucking 25 years old talking to a 16-year-old girl online who wants to be a punk rocker. And you go to the shows, but you never get in the pit, and you, like, have hashtag beer drinking, and you take selfies all the time with you holding a beer. But, like, dude, I would drink you under a fucking table. Like, stop fronting, dude. Like, you're in it or you're not. And, like, when you're like, real... And I don't like to say real and fake. I don't even, like... Like, the realest motherfuckers I know in the punk scene aren't punks to me. They're just good dudes. And good dudes and chicks, I should say. But it's, like, when you're sitting there talking about, like, you're a hashtag punk, fuck off. You know what I mean? Like, you're not. You're not... It's not... I've never once called myself a punk in my entire life. And some people call me, oh, this is punk dude I know. And some people are like, oh, it's just AJ. You know, and it doesn't matter to me. It's... What I'm trying to say is, it should be about the music. Dress however you want. I've seen people at shows in a fucking Hollister shirt, some Abercrombie and Fitch pants going harder in the pit than some of these so-called fucking hardcore kids with face tattoos and Instagrams. Oh my god, that's the worst fucking thing. Hardcore dudes with Instagrams is the worst thing. Check out my face tats, B. Like, fuck off.
We both have Instagrams, buddy.
I got a banned Instagram, yeah. No, I'm talking about, like, the hardcore dudes, like, oh, I'm a badass, but you weigh 90 fucking pounds and you're 5'2". You know what I mean? And, like, oh, I could beat anybody's ass, and you wear, like, a blood for blood shirt because you found out who they were last week, but you're hardcore, fuck off.
You're real mad about the posers, aren't you, kid?
I kind of am, dude. And it's not. And I would never call them a poser. I just call them a weak bitch and see what they do. And if they punch me in the face, then they're cool from then on out.
I haven't had that kind of fire in my belly about that shit in a while.
It's just no. Honestly, what pisses me off is that those are the motherfuckers saying that I'm a fake. Well, they never say I'm a fake. Nobody says I'm a fake. but I feel like they think it. You know what I mean? Because I don't have as many fucking followers as them or what. I don't know, man. I'm just jaded. I'm jaded. I put in a whole bunch of work, and I'm one of the best in the game, and I'm not recognized for it. So I'm the best in the game, but I'm not recognized for it. Put it that way. That's just me being cocky and a dumbass. But
I get you. I
don't know what I'm trying to say here. Like, I'm trying to make a point, but
like
I can't nail it down.
I feel like you're putting in your dues, but other people are
not
getting what you work for.
And that's the thing, like, 10 years from now, it'll be recognized, and, like, we have a lot, not even 10 minutes from now, like, I'll probably get another like on the band page on Facebook, and, like, people are starting to recognize who I am and stuff like that, and that's good. But it's just, like, there's this selective shit. Like, there's some of the, like local legend, Ohio legend motherfuckers that recognize who I am and love me, but they'll give so much attention to a chick who's kind of hot and sucks at fucking playing music, but be like, your band is awesome. Dude, just because they're kind of hot.
That's happened forever.
Yeah, I know, and it pisses me off.
Dude, we got bumped.
But I know some chicks who are ugly as I won't say ugly as fuck. I mean, they're not hot as fuck. I'll say that. They're not hot as fuck. But they're in such killer bands and they get no recognition because they're not a super attractive female. It pisses me off.
We've been bumped down the list in favor of bands with girl lead singers.
Yeah. I know a band.
And she wasn't good.
There's a band called Slut Bomb. And I wouldn't say their singer's ugly at all. I think she's pretty attractive. She's not the hottest chick at the show. But she's attractive. But
it's a pretty badass band name too.
I know. I think it's kind of cool. Slut Bomb. If you saw them, I don't know. I thought they were pretty good. But I thought they were
sweet.
That's really awesome.
I thought they were a fucking good band. But like nobody talks about them, and it's like they're so good. But then they're gonna talk about fucking like I don't know, butcher babies or something, bunch of dumb bimbos on coke or something like that. I don't fucking know. Butcher Babies isn't even relevant. It's just a band. I don't like them automatically because of their name. But see, so I'm part of that too, though. I'm part of like just judging people on face value.
See, that's another thing you have to learn as you get older. You can just not like things for no reason. You don't need a reason.
Yeah.
No, I fucking dislike things all the time. Just snap judgments.
Because fuck that.
Yeah, I fucking don't like it.
Well, I don't even know if it's a snap judgment. Yeah. It's like I think you're better at identifying shit. It's like I want no part of that. You know what I mean? It's not even like maybe they're good at what they do or whatever, but like what they do sucks. You know what I mean? Like fuck that. I want nothing to do with that. That's fake. You know, and then they can look at me and be like, I'm fake and whatever, and hoo-ha, the whole world works. But I don't know, man. There's a lot of hypocrisy, and there's a lot of favoritism, and there's a lot of like, I don't know, like so many fake motherfuckers too who will like when I'm around like, oh, I'm cool and blah blah blah, and like, oh yeah, I thought you hit, and I'll even tell people I'm the type of dude that like I'm super awkward to talk to if I think you hate me, because that's the first thing I'm gonna bring up. Like, I mean, hey, yeah, what's up, how you been, blah blah blah, but after that be like, dude, I thought you hated me, man, because you said something a while ago, and I'm gonna remember a status you posted 2.5 years ago that you don't even remember. I'm gonna be like, I'm like 90% sure you directed that at me because it was a night we played together and you said something about a tall chubby dude. You know what I mean? And like, and I was like, I'm pretty sure that was about me and blah blah blah. And like, if you're straight up like, yeah, dude, that was, but like, dude, that was a snapshot. What, you know, that's cool. Or even if you're like, no, I don't like you, that's cool too. But don't sit there. No, man, you're cool. We're buds. Yeah, we're brothers, man. Yeah, we're brothers. And then 2 seconds later, as soon as I do something good, you're like, oh, fuck that. I'm not going to support this dude. And like, even if I support it, and that's the other thing, I'll support so many people and then like they won't return the favor. And it's not about the return of the favor, but it makes me less likely to support you if you don't help support me too. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I've always been about fucking
help each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Share. Mm-hmm. Everything. It matters.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't matter to me, but it matters a whole lot to you, so why not do it?
Like, I share your band shit, I share our friends' podcasts.
Yeah, and I share you guys' podcast. I mean, it's not every single fucking time, but I try to go out of my way for it, you know? If I see it, I do. Yeah, if I see it, I do.
Yeah, and that's what matters. Like, every little bit of that shit helps.
It does.
Sure.
Yeah, because and the thing is, like, 9 times out of 10, I'll share something from you guys. Nobody's going to even like the status. Nobody's going to fucking listen to it. But, like, one of those times out of 10,
Someone's gonna be like,
gonna
why the
listen to
fuck
it
does
and
he
think
keep posting this?
and listen to it and be like, oh, this is actually kind of cool. And then, and that's what it's about, And I'm not afraid to look fucking foolish. Like, for supporting someone who's not popular. And I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about, like...
Oh, we're not popular.
Well, you guys have just started out, though, like, the past, 6 months?
8.
8 months?
8.
July.
Less than a year. Less than a year.
8 months.
Less than a year you guys have been out, and, like, it takes a while to build anything up. But, like, there's some bands out there that I met with, like, all the talent in the world, and they get no recognition, and it pisses me off. Like, I'm not involved with that band. I have no fucking shares. I didn't buy any shares. Like, it's no stock for me. It's just like, why aren't they fucking huge? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then, but at the same time, though, there's bands out there that are like, I brought them up a million times. Rotten Stitches are a band. They're blowing up now. They're just getting, like, every month they're getting, like, I mean, it's at the point to where, like, you're talking about anybody about the punk scene, you can't get away from them. And it's like, I'm so happy for them because they fucking deserve it, dude. Those guys are fucking road warriors. And they kill it, dude. And everybody, they deserve everything.
I see Blake sharing that shit a lot.
Yeah. And I'm
check
trying
it out, honestly.
And the thing is, too, Blake shares, like, everything, which it kind of gets to, in my opinion, like a dick riding thing. But it's like one of their dudes will invite me to one of the events, and I'll still say going because it makes it look like one more. Even though there's already 150 people going to it, I'll say going because it helps one more. And I'm friends with those dudes, and, like, they deserve everything they get. They grinded their fucking ass off these past 2 years, dude. They've been on like 5 tours in the past 2 years.
Jesus Christ.
Like, they're fucking killing it, and it's like, they deserve everything they get. Another thing, but then you look at a band like FTS, who, the dudes in the Rotten Stitches would also agree with me, are like, they're road warriors too. They've been on a bunch of tours in these past couple of years and stuff, and they're starting to get some recognition, but nowhere near what they deserve. Like, FTS is a band that's, like, fucking gnarly, and I don't think they get, like, Stitches are finally starting to get recognition. FTS, man, they deserve a lot more than what they're getting, I think. You know what I mean? Us, I'd like to say, yeah, we deserve more. And frankly, though, I don't know, because we haven't toured a lot. We have, but we haven't. Like, we've been on, like, 3 runs this past year. And then, like, an actual tour 2 years, a year and a half ago, we went on, like, a full tour. And then the past year, we went on, like, 2 or 3 runs. Mm-hmm. And we're starting to get something. Maybe we deserve a little more, maybe not. I don't know. But these guys are, like, really grinding. Like, going away for a week, 2, 3 weeks at a time. Like, killing it. So, what I'm trying to say is I'm not biased. For bands that play one show every 3 months in their hometown and they get 500 new likes because it's all dudes that want to bang the chick in the band. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But there's also hot chicks in bands that they're actually really talented. Maybe they get those extra likes or whatever, but they're actually killing it too. Like, I'm not trying to
always.
I'm not saying every hot chick in music doesn't deserve credibility, because that's fucked
I really
up.
got to get on to signing people on my record label.
You got a record label?
First, I got to get it off the ground. Me and Ryan.
You should talk to Blake.
Me and Ryan have a record label.
Blake's actually trying to start. I should plug this too. I
you should probably plug this
thing.
Fucking actual thing.
It's not a thing yet.
He's just bullshitting.
I'm not bullshitting. No, we just never got around to it. Cunt Punt Records.
Blake's trying to do this thing called Fahrenheit 451, and it's just a movement, and it's anything from hooking you up with screen printing deals to screen printing you ourselves. You need a design for your t-shirts, he'll do it. And helping you out with distribution deals, helping you get some reviews, helping get your name out there. Maybe one day, if he gets any better, starting to book tours and stuff like that. But, starting from the ground up, and he just wants to call it Fahrenheit 451 or just 451 Records. I can't remember. I think 451 Records.
What's that stand for?
It has to do with
Fahrenheit 9/11.
pretty much. Yeah, it's a thing that's like,
It's the melting point of steel.
I need this whiskey.
it's basically a conspiracy anti-government reference, I think. But what he's trying to do is just get like the dopest of the dope punk and hardcore bands, and like for now, right now, the deal is you don't owe us a damn thing. But if you just like next time you get CDs done or shirts done, or not shirts, but CDs done, like just have like our little his little logo. I'm saying ours, his little logo on it, and talk about us to other people. But like what he's gonna do is he's saying he's gonna like go reach out to like there's this distribution company out of Chicago that I've talked to a couple times about helping us out, and he's just trying to help artists make it, and he doesn't want a cut of your shit right now. Like maybe if it blows up and it actually helps your career, maybe he'll ask for a cut. But right now, it's just a little extra hand. You know what I mean? Like just trying to do something. You'd have to talk to him about the specifics, honestly. And he's brought it up to me, and I'm like, I'm his brother and stuff, and I'm like, well, yeah, sure, I'll do it. And that's the thing too. You got like a little like label thing on your CDs, just like that little design down in the bottom left corner, dude. That makes you look 10 times more legit. Like if you look at album art, if you look at album art and you just see 5 songs listed on the back, yeah, that's cool. But then you're looking at the back of a CD and it's the back album art,
Right.
And it's just 5 songs. Yeah, that's cool. But then like you got like a little logo down here and a logo next to that with who you recorded with, and then like maybe a copyright thing.
Right.
Oh fuck, this is a real band.
This is legit.
This is a real band now.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like we can even use things like that. Like as far as if we ever wanted to print T-shirts and shit like that, in exchange maybe hook us up with a decent price, and we can promote you guys through us.
Yeah. Well, that's something I know. This dude Matt
You guys
Greenfield.
give us an HJ, we'll give you an HJ.
I was gonna say, there's this dude Matt
affair.
Greenfield who
I clean your thigh, you clean my thigh.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all good.
He's got a podcast now. It's not too big, but he's like, you have a local business.
LeRoii, I
You
give the
have
reach
a-
around.
I'll take it. I'll
common
give
courtesy.
you one for free,
common
man. I'll
courtesy.
just
It's common
because
courtesy.
you're cute.
He's a gentleman. He's really working.
Okay.
I'm fucking
Look at him.
But I know a dude. He has
wreck.
he has a podcast, and he just like send me like $20 and I'll plug your whatever with whoever. And he's got some connections. Like he's been talking to some people but it's all phone call shit too. So it's but he's doing it, and maybe that is a way to do it. Just kind of reach out and just yeah. Is it cool if I can like interview you for a minute, and then that's done, and then put up, hey, I'm interviewing so and so. If you want to plug on this podcast, we'll talk price, and I'll feature you. And he's featured some bands and stuff. Like would send them a couple bucks, and he'll give them a shout out at the beginning, like as a sponsor, and that's how sponsorship.
We got a sponsor now.
Really?
Yeah, Wolf Cola.
Wolf Cola.
Wolf Cola.
Wolf Cola.
Uh-oh.
I have to wear the shirt every fucking...
Where can I get some tasty ass Wolf Cola?
I can order on the internet. We'll get together later.
Okay, I was gonna say, I think I've had Wolf Cola before, and it was better than Pepsi and Coke, and it was delicious.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's the best.
During trying times.
Yeah, you mix that with some of this whiskey, whoo boy, you're in for a night.
Makes this perfect whole apple pie whiskey.
There you go.
Anyways, so let's talk about the big fuck up that UFC pulled this weekend.
What was that?
You're having UFC 209 without the Diaz brothers.
Yeah, dude, okay. I'm just saying that's criminal. And they're asking for like a third of what McGregor would ask for a thing. That would just end the night perfectly. Don't get me wrong, the main event and the co-main event, I'm ecstatic for. I love
Even
Tony.
the first fight.
I've been shouting out Habib for a minute now. You know what I mean? But this Tony Ferguson dude, just as soon as the fight was announced, I'm like, "Who's Tony Ferguson?" And I'm like, "God damn, that's Tony Ferguson." You know what I mean? So like, it's like holy shit. And then the fucking main event. Oh my god! Like, who the fuck do I root for? You know what I mean? Like that first fight.
I remember watching that first fight. It was a 5 fucking round draw.
Yeah.
Whoa.
5-round draw, dude. Tyron Woodley and Stephen Thompson. I honestly, and this is just bullshit, and you can call me out on it and make me eat my words. I don't care, because I'm going to keep them soft and sweet. But I think Stephen Thompson might have Woodley in this one.
There you go.
I feel like
there you go, Leroy. Now they're all gonna be fucking commenting.
I just feel like he
comment.
might be.
It's okay.
Don't get me. I was a fan of Woodley. I didn't know who the fuck Thompson was until Woodley fought him. I've known Woodley, and I'm still a huge fan of Woodley. I got nothing bad to say about him. Really?
Yeah.
I got nothing bad to say about Tyron Woodley. But like, I don't know, just something about that first fight. I've seen some fights, and I just feel like he's the one that's going to come back with a little bit more oomph. I feel like he's a little more hungry. But that could be wrong. That could be totally wrong. I mean, Woodley, if anybody's going to beat him, it's Woodley. You know, he's an animal.
I like that was a 5-round draw and no one had a problem with it.
Yeah.
Like, that's how close.
And that's such a controversial thing to call as a draw.
Like, yeah.
Nobody had a problem. Yeah.
And we're all like, yeah, okay, I get that.
That was a draw. Yeah, I wouldn't say one or the other either. I feel like, Thompson was it.
That was like McGregor Diaz, too. Could have been a draw. It could have gone either way.
I personally, and I'm the biggest Diaz fan on the planet. You know me. I jerk off to the Diaz brothers. I actually had McGregor up in that one.
I think I did too, but if it didn't go his way, I wouldn't have thrown a fit.
Yeah.
No,
I would have been super happy.
Yeah, you actually sat down and watched that fight going, holy fuck.
Yeah. I think the rounds that Diaz won them by a bigger margin. But I think McGregor skidded by more rounds.
What a fantastic fight.
Which is why, like, if that was Pride Rules, Diaz would have won. You know, but it's not Pride Rules. This is the UFC, and you know the fucking rules. You know what I mean? And you have to know that going into the fight. And honestly, I think if Diaz wouldn't have done, and he's claiming that in the first round that those were false falls, I actually think that's true.
I do too.
You know, I think he was trying to bait him into a ground situation.
Fuck yeah, he was, and McGregor knew that.
That pointed against him. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. McGregor did know that, which shows his intelligence in a fight.
That shows you what $100,000 in a fucking fight camp looks like.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
But I think if Diaz wouldn't have fallen to the ground, it could have
been a draw.
It could have at least been a draw. I think it would have at least been a draw if Diaz didn't fall in the beginning.
Like, they were talking about fucking Diaz not pursuing him when he went to the ground. Dude, that's a fucking game plan.
Yeah.
I watched that man spend months.
Wait, you mean McGregor not pursuing him on the ground? Yeah.
Like, oh, he was he wouldn't...
I would go on the ground with Diaz.
No! Fuck you!
He knew it. Yeah,
He's a Gracie black belt. You can suck my ass.
It's not only that, dude.
He knew not to go down there.
Well, the thing is, too, like, Ben Henderson, I don't even think has the ground difficulties, like, ground experience that Diaz does, but, like, he kind of avoided the ground, too, in their fight. Ben Henderson won that fight, but he was on the ground for a minute. The thing is, this is why I think McGregor is popular for every, it's good reasons, and he talks the most, and his stand-up is amazing, but, like, how can you talk about best in the world and nobody can beat McGregor when A, he's been beaten before several times, and B, and that's the thing with, well, let me finish this point, and B, he has no ground game. He doesn't have one. He has no ground game.
He's a brown belt in jiu-jitsu.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
He's a white belt, dude. Maybe a blue belt.
I'm pretty sure he's up there right now.
No, he's now within a year, dude.
No.
No jiu-jitsu experience to now. There's no way he's a brown belt.
I'm pretty sure he has a fucking pretty strong ground game.
No. Well, he can survive. He survived against Chad Mendez. Mm-hmm. That was about the closest thing I've seen to any kind of a ground game with him. Which, I think you are, because he's a white belt for sure. If he continued jiu-jitsu, he could be a blue belt.
He won't be
by
made
now.
a fool of.
But he's a white belt. There's no way you can get up to brown belt within a year, because this time last year he was a white belt.
Oh God, I hope he's wrong. He's gonna stomp out here like a little girl.
He's brown belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
McGregor?
Yes.
Oh, Wikipedia says it though, but that's Wikipedia. Last year he was a white belt. There's no way you can be.
Listen,
there's
I know
no way.
Dude, I'm telling you, he wasn't a white belt last year.
He was a white belt. That's what he said. He never did Brazilian jiu-jitsu until last year. That's what everybody was. All the news outlets and shit were saying. Like he did. He doesn't have a ground game.
That's a bunch of shit, though.
Who has he tapped though? Has he ever tapped anybody?
He doesn't use it, and he doesn't have.
That's
to.
what I don't know, man. Well, that's the thing. If he was a brown belt, then he would have went to the ground with Diaz. There would have been a fighting chance.
He's a brown belt under Kavanaugh.
Who's Kavanaugh?
Coach Kavanaugh. It's his fucking think it's his fucking...
Is that the touch button the park guy?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
But,
He might be a brown belt under him then.
but fucking the Diaz brothers are fucking
Is he
black belts under
IBJJF?
fucking
Is he
Horace Gracie.
IBJJF recognized brown belt though? That's the question.
That's a good question.
International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation. That's where it really comes into
I bet he
play.
isn't.
Nick and
I bet
Nate
he
are
isn't.
both recognized black belts on. And that's we're getting off track though. Basically his ground game is not Diaz's ground.
No.
Yeah. And that's I think even he would admit he showed that he admitted it in the fight.
Oh,
you know?
he absolutely did.
He absolutely,
That was smart.
Yeah, it is smart, dude, because those guys are wizards on the fucking.
Oh fuck
those guys
yeah!
are wizards.
He wanted him on top.
This
of
this is the one thing too is
McGregor's
Diaz.
never claimed that he could go down there.
McGregor-
He's never that's what I gotta say about that dude. Why I like that dude. Talks mad shit. Most of the time backs it up. So that's why
Most of the time he absolutely.
That's
does.
why I like
Yeah.
that dude. Like
Yeah.
I mean, it is annoying how much shit talking.
Yeah, and that's the
does,
thing.
but, like-
Chad Mendez is an elite level wrestler, and he got up out of under Chad Mendez after Chad Mendez took him down and knocked him the fuck out. So McGregor's magical. Like I'm not denying that. You know, he's just like
he's cunt. He's definitely a cunt.
Well, yeah, but that's cool though. In combat sports, that's cool, you know. And I get that it sells fucking fights.
Yeah, definitely.
I respect,
definitely
and
does.
I have all. Dude, if me and McGregor got into a fist fight right now, I would be asleep in 3 or less seconds. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like 3 times his size.
Right.
He would knock me the fuck out. You know what I mean? He would starch me. So I'm not trying to talk shit. And that's how I approach all fucking like anybody who has the balls to step into the ring or the cage or whatever, you know, you got my respect immediately.
Oh,
you know what I
definitely.
mean? I'm not trying to shit on McGregor.
You know you're
because there's a
doing-
lot of dudes out there that are, you know, it almost seems like this day and age, you either think, you know, McGregor is one of your favorite guys ever or you fucking hate him. And he's not one of my favorite guys of all time. I think I think he's good. I think he's more than good. But I don't think he's like one of the greatest of all times. But I don't think he's shit either. Like I don't think
I think he'll
deserves
go
to be
down
shit.
as one of the greatest of all time.
Probably.
I think so,
Probably.
too.
If he
I
keeps
think so,
fighting.
too.
And that's a whole nother thing, if he keeps fighting. And that's the thing, he's calling out 39-year-old Floyd Mayweather. Like, why doesn't he call out Danny Garcia, who would fucking make him look like a fool in the boxing
Because
ring? Like, even
money
a
is
miracle. Okay, you know what would be smart for him?
Money is where the money is, buddy.
Money is where the money is. That's where
that's
he will
true.
fucking rape Mayweather.
Well, he would make a whole lot of, I don't think he will. Not in a boxing ring.
You don't think?
Not in a boxing ring. No. No.
He
not in a
he'll be
boxing
lucky
ring.
to get a draw.
Well, I'll tell you this, man. There's such a thing as a puncher's chance. Have you ever heard the
That's
expression
true.
of puncher's chance? The whole, I
Well,
clip
is it-
him and he goes to sleep. That's all he has against Mayweather is a puncher's chance. Everything else, 39 years old, Mayweather is still just a spry. He's not going to touch Mayweather. Mayweather's going to fucking embarrass him for 12 rounds. And actually, a lot of boxing analysts think that if that fight actually does happen, towards the later rounds, if everything goes as to what's expected.
Hold on, because I'm not as big of a fan as you guys. This is going to be a boxing match?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I thought this was going to be a UFC.
Well, yeah, if it was a UFC match, McGregor, okay,
See, I never-
McGregor would even take him down
I've
and
never
beat him
even
up
read
on the
that much
ground. You
into
know what I
it.
mean?
This is going to be a boxing match?
Yeah.
Oh, Floyd Mayweather's going to fucking kill him.
Yeah, well, not
He's
kill
not-
him.
he's
He's
gonna
going to
point
embarrass him for 12 rounds. He's going to embarrass the fuck out of him for 12 rounds.
Yeah, if
And
this is MMA, he'd pull his fucking face off.
Yeah, he would. Absolutely, dude. The fucking jumping,
That's why-
spinning, crazy
Okay, because
Hollywood kick to the face and it's over.
so the money amount, that's why it was so ridiculous.
Yeah, because it's boxing.
I didn't realize.
Boxing is still like pretty much, it's still mob run. I don't care what anybody
yeah.
says.
Oh,
it's
it's
still
bullshit.
mob run.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
how much they're paid.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I mean, like, boxing, I
Dude,
respect it.
Deontay Wilder probably makes as much, if not more, money than Floyd Mayweather, and nobody knows who Deontay Wilder is. Luis Ortiz, Joseph Parker, like I said, Danny Garcia,
Triple G.
Amir Khan, Triple G. Triple G probably makes way more than Conor McGregor.
Oh, absolutely.
He probably does. You
Most
know,
fucking boxers do. Fucking MMA fighters don't make that much.
no, they don't. And McGregor's the only one that's paid like a boxer.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody
He is,
else
that's what I was
is
going to
paid
say.
like
He's
UFC,
the only
yeah.
one that's paid.
He's getting like
ridiculous.
2.5
And it's not
mil a
ridiculous
fucking
though
fight.
because you know he's pulling in how many fucking pay-per-view buys.
Well,
he's pulling in how
like
many,
we said
everyone
about
wants
what's
to
his
see him. You
face.
can't argue
fucking,
that. And you can't say
not
say
Terrence Brown.
fucking Conor McGregor's cherry picking either. He's fought nothing but top names, which is another reason why I don't shit all over Conor McGregor.
Mm-hmm.
He's fought, dude, Nate Diaz is not a fucking bum. Chad Mendez is not a fucking bum. Jose Aldo is not a fucking bum.
Eddie Alvarez.
Eddie Alvarez is not a bum. He's not one of the greatest, but he's not a bum.
No.
You know what I mean?
The joke about... Oh, fuck, I can't remember who. We were watching that one fight. Who did we make the joke about that they were probably on their lunch break? Was it
shit. I forget. It was some scrub, wasn't it?
Oh, who the fuck was it?
I don't know. He's like this little...
It wasn't Travis Brown. Who the fuck did we make the joke about? I don't even think it was Travis Brown's fight. I think it was the one before that.
I was gonna say there's Travis Brown versus Derek.
No, there's this like really
Johnson.
trashy dude that like has a day job and he looks like he's a carnival worker.
Really?
Yeah.
He went out there and he fucking hurt this guy.
Really?
And
He
then
got the...
yeah.
Who was it? I wonder. Was it the fight night? The last fight night?
Yeah.
Oh man,
It
I didn't
wasn't Derek.
pay
It
much
wasn't
attention.
Travis Brown and Derek.
The Travis Brown fight was the only one that I really.
I think
paid any
it might have been like a
attention to.
145 fight.
Oh yeah,
It was...
no, dude.
what the
I'm
fuck's
out on
this
this one.
dude's name?
I don't think either of them were ranked.
But going back to the whole McGregor
Yeah,
thing,
it's not a big
you know,
deal. I'm
McGregor,
fucking
and
out
this is why, like, you know, and I would love to shit on McGregor, but it's not like he's out here fighting bums. He's fighting top,
Yeah, dude.
top
I
guys.
mean, it's...
Like Eddie Alvarez. Eddie Alvarez, I think, is just past his prime. You know, just because he fought in the Pride days too.
Yeah.
He's been through wars and stuff.
It's
But that's the thing.
definitely-
He's still not a bum though. Like past his prime or not. And I think when he fought, I think this fight made Eddie Alvarez past his prime.
Oh, probably.
I don't think he was past his prime when they fought. I think after, and the way that McGregor handled him was just like you can't.
He hurt him.
It's
You
easy.
know,
It's easy.
you
to
gotta
hate.
give the
It's
guy fucking
Oh yeah,
credit,
it's
you
easy
know?
to hate that dude. I understand.
It is, yeah.
Like I
and this
said,
is the thing. A lot of
most
people.
shit he says, he's a fucking cunt.
I think
Like,
the reason I'm so like aggro on people who just like I want to talk combat sports and the first name out of their mouth is Conor McGregor, I'm gonna get a little like, well then what about GSP? What about Anderson Silva? What about blah blah blah?
I'm
You know,
fucking with you. I'm
no,
fucking-
you
I'm
know,
fucking with
you're
you.
a self-admitted fucking McGregor fan, but
yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying like if
But
the only person you talk about is Conor
I
McGregor,
respect everyone else though.
yeah,
He does.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
fine.
you do, yeah, I've seen it too,
Like I'm
Yeah.
just as excited for this pay-per-view as I
Woodley
was.
versus Thompson, which is like not so much like that's casual fans. I don't think are excited about this
No,
card
I'm
as you or
fucking
I are.
stoked.
Yeah, we're not like old timer fucking
I
back
don't
in
know,
the
like
bar
you
with a
guys.
cigar and a fucking. But like we know a thing or two about some UFC now.
Like I've explained
yeah.
Khabib
No.
to them.
yeah, Nurmagomedov. Can you say his last name?
Nurmagomedov.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go. Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Yeah, he's.
Have you ever seen
terrifying.
any of his fights? It's we go to ground now. That's every fight by him. That's every fucking fight. So that's why fucking Tony Ferguson, he's been going over to 10th Planet and working on some BJJ. And he's been, I guess, and the thing
He's gonna
is,
need it.
yeah, he is. But the thing that Eddie Bravo is good at teaching is shit that never existed before. And bringing it into jiu-jitsu. You know, and
Eddie's
that's
not
what,
there right now.
yeah, Eddie was talking about on the last. I think it was the fight companion with
hasn't
Uncle
been able
Creepy.
to. Eddie hasn't been able to do jiu-jitsu in 10 months.
Real? Oh yeah, because he had a surgery, didn't he? Yeah, but I think
yeah,
he's there
he did
coaching though. I think he is there coaching.
Probably.
And
He's a cunt.
I fucking hate Eddie Bravo so bad.
I actually like him. I don't. Okay, so when he's on the
know.
podcast,
He's
he's good for like an hour, and then once he starts getting high and drunk, he just starts talking over
Shut
everybody
the fuck
and like.
up. Well,
yeah.
the Alex Jones episode.
Yeah.
How many times did Rogan be like, Eddie, shut up?
Yeah.
Like he's like,
Like seriously, like
it was killing me though.
And that's the thing.
it
Once
was-
he gets high and drunk, he starts. But god damn it, if that guy can't tie anybody in the world into a pretzel, you know, other than like maybe seriously,
See, that's
less than 100 people on this planet, like cannot be tied up. But everybody else, other than like maybe except 100 people on this planet, Eddie Bravo can tie everyone else on the planet
he's a
up into a
little
fucking
dude.
pretzel. Yeah. So.
But
But yeah, he's an idiot
Shut up.
sometimes. Yeah. Eddie, please
isn't.
shut the fuck up.
well, the fucking I like that and too how Alex Jones kept being like trying to get Eddie Bravo to punch him.
yeah.
He's like, hit me as hard,
hit me in the arm.
hit me as hard as you can.
Yeah.
Brian,
I
he's
actually-
like, I can't hit
I
you
res-
as hard as I can.
I respected Eddie's restraint in that too, because he's like, dude, no. And he's just like, one of those or whatever. He's like,
at the end of it, he was just like going like that.
Yeah.
And
Eddie's not a striker anyway, was it?
Well, he has some Taekwondo
He was
experience,
ki-
I think,
yeah.
which isn't a punch thing anyway. Like, that'd be like...
he was kind of being
maybe
cocky,
a wheel
but
kick,
still, he was like, oh, if I punch you as hard as I can, I'll fucking really hurt you.
Yeah.
But
Which he wouldn't. Like, punching in the arm isn't
dude,
gonna
Alex
really hurt anybody.
Alex Jones is fat, but like he works out.
He's pretty bulky.
He's pretty bulky.
He takes steroids,
so I think
probably.
he probably does.
He probably takes something that wouldn't be legal in sports.
I want to start taking steroids.
I wouldn't mind. I really wouldn't. I think you have to know what you're doing with them.
No, I just want to get real fucking big.
I wouldn't want to get like Rich Piana, like big.
I want to be gross.
I don't want to be gross. That's the one thing. I don't want to be
My brother had
gross
to take
big.
steroids.
What?
I wouldn't even want to be as
When he
big
was
as
younger,
your
it was just
brother.
growth
Personally.
hormones. It wasn't anything like, like the real steroids. But he had to.
Growth
Really?
hormone, you said?
Yeah, he had to take growth hormones.
Really?
And he was
What's that for?
He just wasn't growing right.
Oh.
And then the doctors was like, yeah, he's gonna take these. So then like every month or so, like FedEx would drop off this growth hormones, like in like styrofoam where it was like dry ice and shit, and get delivered, and my dad would have to fucking inject them in the arm with these fucking growth hormones.
Jesus.
And then, like, because he wasn't growing right, my brother's bigger than I am. So, like, I need it. Well, Vince can attune to it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're about, like, he's maybe, an inch taller than I am.
Maybe.
But like,
Stout,
He's stocky.
he's gotten a little
Like, your
chubby.
brother's he's pretty yoked.
My brother-
I wouldn't say your brother's gross yoked, but he's bigger than I'd like to be.
My brother let himself go, huh?
Not really.
Yeah, he's got a little bit fat.
Yeah.
Dude, he's just older.
So have I.
That's just...
This is all fucking
weird
wings and
thing.
beer right here, dude. That's I'm all wings
he
and
went
beer.
vegetarian and he got fat. So, I don't know.
Vegetarians can be fat.
That's weird.
It's LA. He just recently moved back. I think I
think I heard that podcast, actually.
Yeah, he was constantly there. I just don't think he had time to get to the gym or eat healthy, so he was just constantly.
When he was in LA.
Yeah,
everything's so fucking expensive out there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he'll probably lose a bunch of weight now he's back here.
Yeah, I actually found a 10th Planet gym down in Newark, which when I moved down there, I'm actually interested in. They do kickboxing for like an hour and a half, and then after that is BJJ.
That's cool.
And one of them's a certified 10th Planet guy. And when I moved down there, I want to start out at least with kickboxing, because I actually do, believe it or not, I don't talk. You might not even know this. I do have a Taekwondo background.
Really?
I do. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Very small background. I was barely an orange belt, which I don't even know is an official ranking. I was young. I wasn't like 5. I was like 12, 13. Put it this way. I'm not good at it. I used to be able to easily, like, if I continued with it, at the level I was, I could kick a can off your head every time, no problem.
Oh my god.
I could kick over my head.
We should probably
no
start
problem.
to cut. Like, do you remember the Joey Karate videos?
Yes.
We should,
Dude, I'll fucking find my old gi that's too small
we
for
should
me.
probably-
I'll do some Joey Karate.
we should probably start a video, like it's like videos called LeRoii Kondo.
LeRoii Kondo. LE-ROII Kondo. I
Joey
would do
Karate,
it.
LeRoii Kondo, and just like you with like beer, just being like, let me tell you.
All right.
Just like,
And then just give fight predictions.
yeah.
That would
But
be
when they
awesome.
started out, he actually would do karate moves.
Yeah.
But
Dude,
then-
I could do like basic form 1. That one was easy. I learned way past that, but I could remember basic form 1, which is super lame, but like if you guys saw me do it, it would be funny. And then like I could just throw a couple kicks. And that's the one thing, like I do know how to properly throw a kick. I'm not really able to throw high level. I like a jumping side kick was my favorite kick. It still is kind of my favorite kick because I feel like
you're just walking around your house kicking walls and shit.
I don't, because I would put holes in the wall. I would really, because my walls are weak and I'm heavy. Not that I'm amazing, but I would put holes in walls just because I'm heavy and
No,
my
I
walls
really
suck.
think we should start doing Leroy Kwando.
I want a weekly
I could do like
video.
spinning, I could do a spinning back kick. Give me like 3 months to like build up and work out and train. Like I would do a
The
spinning
Joe
back
Karate
kick
videos, the
across
early
someone's
ones
head.
were hilarious.
Yeah,
Like,
that
there
was
was-
actually. I used to. I'm sorry. Keep going.
There was one where he's doing shit. You know, it's Uncle Joey. So, but then like
I love his.
the end of it. At this one, he's like, next week we're gonna learn how to do this is like a spin kick and how to fly through the fucking air.
I fucking love him. That's who I want to be when I'm 50. I want to be that dude. What's up, cocksucker? In the middle of the woods in Washington State when I'm like 50 years old with 10 dogs smoking weed.
That's who I
wanna
remember
be.
this fucking Segura was on Rogan's podcast and he was like
Just classic.
talking
man.
about he was talking about Joey and he was like they were on tour together and which he always tells a story on Rogan's podcast but anyways something about they're on tour together and when Joey walked on stage he goes, "What's up, cocksuckers?" and Segura's like, I can't believe, and like the whole crowd's like
see that.
it's like couldn't believe he just said, "What's up, cocksuckers?"
Yeah.
And then
what's up,
so like the
cocksuckers?
crowd's like
Is there another beer in there for me?
the crowd reacts like that. And then Diaz goes, "Yeah, that's right. That's some fucked up shit." And Uncle Joey, Uncle say,
That's what he always says
Uncle
too.
say fucked up shit.
Yeah, I'm your uncle that lets you smoke weed when you're 12. You know?
Borrowed $300 from your dad, didn't pay him back.
Yeah.
What's up, cocksuckers? Yeah,
I
that's
feel
some
like
fucked up
I am.
shit.
I feel like if Blake and Rebecca's actually Rebecca is a cool chick. I don't know if you know. Blake's with Rebecca. This chick named
I
Rebecca.
don't know, Rebecca.
Probably the coolest chick he's been with since forever.
That's good.
She's awesome. I actually really like the whole family likes her. I like her. She's really cool. That's getting so off track of what I was originally going to say though. Holy fuck. I'm drinking.
You're going to be Uncle Buck, is what you're going to say.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to be Uncle Buck.
I'm
gonna
telling
be
you,
Uncle Joey.
Shanice, I'll be at work on Monday.
No, but back to the whole fight sports thing,
Yeah.
man. This 209. What's the undercard again? I think I looked
Mark
at it
Hunt
once.
and Alistair.
Oh, let's go, Mark. That's all I got to say for that is let's go, Mark. I think Mark has it.
Oh, absolutely.
I think Mark has it. I think Alistair's past his prime. I think Mark, even though he's in his 40s, Mark was never a PED guy. And
No.
Alistair so much obviously was.
Oh, Ubering.
Yeah. I think Mark has it, and I want Mark to win. I like Alistair. I'm not trying to talk shit, but I want Mark to win that one for sure.
Morally, I want him to win.
Morally, Mark Hunt deserves to walk off KO this motherfucker.
Especially for what went down with
With
Brock.
Lesnar. Yeah, that pissed me off, man. I mean, when I saw that fight, I knew what was happening. Mark Hunt doesn't get handled like that.
No.
He never gets handled like that. And that was... yeah, that upset me.
It pissed me off the UFC knew.
Yeah. I heard speculation and rumor that UFC knew. Because, I knew going into that fight, I knew that Brock Lesnar was coming right out of the WWE into training camp and was absolved of any drug test.
Yeah.
So, I knew what was going on.
Yeah.
And that upset me.
Which means,
And he just laid on Mark Hunt. He wouldn't stand up with Mark Hunt.
Fuck no.
Dude, I like when but this made me feel so good inside when fucking Joey Diaz was going off on a tangent about Brock Lesnar versus Stipe Miocic. Fucking like, oh, that Cleveland motherfucker knocked the steam out his ears. I don't give a fuck what that cocksucker's on. Like, yeah, Cleveland, Ohio, bitch. Stipe, that's someone I want to see fight soon is Stipe.
they're talking about him fighting, Shit, who's he fighting next?
I think I heard some kind of an announcement, but I think I've heard everything in the world, so...
I'll fucking look it up after this.
Yeah, we'll find out later.
Fucking-
I want to see Stipe fight again very badly.
I do too. It's been a minute.
It has. Since that
he had surgery
Overeem
or
knockout.
something.
Since that Overeem knockout, yeah, he might have. Yeah, I didn't hear that, but I
might
wouldn't be
have.
surprised because he looks like a wolf when he fights. Like, he just fucking
Because it's been about 6 or 7 months.
Yeah, I feel like that dude trains like a motherfucker, too. I feel like Stipe trains harder than a lot of people.
Well, who's headlining 210?
I don't know.
It might be Stipe.
Really?
Yeah. Think of
I hope. I would love to see that, dude.
I remember him
209's this weekend, right?
this Saturday.
This Saturday? I'm going to have to come down to your place.
Absolutely. Oh, Alex is talking about coming down.
Fuck yeah, dude. We'll have to both come down. We'll make it happen.
He has to be there, too.
You should be there, man.
You should.
This Saturday, man. What are you doing
Saturday.
Saturday? What are you doing Saturday?
I'm working.
No, you're not. What time?
Till 8. I work all
Till 8?
weekend.
Okay,
I work all
after 8
weekend.
o'clock. I don't care how much like raw meat you smell like. Come hang out with me at Vince's house.
Watch people punch each other for
Watch
sport.
people punch each other.
We'll see what's going on.
We'll make it happen, man.
Alright, well, we're about an hour and a half.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, we'll continue talking after this.
We're
is over,
digressing.
though. Yeah.
we're
Because I want to keep.
We usually cut it off right when we start making plans for like the future.
Yeah.
We do, yeah.
I was gonna say, boxing stuff. Let's talk about that off the podcast because boxing stuff. Nobody talks about
Right.
boxing stuff anymore.
Right.
If that Wilder fight would have been different, I would disagree with you. But
Do you want to talk about? We'll talk about it 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes for the
Okay.
Wilder fight.
Dude, real quick.
yeah,
I just want to throw that. I know I'm going to make this a big thing. I got a phone call earlier. Well, one of my friends died.
ooh, which
Oh
one?
shit.
It's an old friend. I just wanted to say real quick that rest in peace, Jamie D. I love you.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
It's not.
That sucks.
I didn't want to
Hey,
bring
man.
it down. I didn't want to bring the energy down. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
No, man. Energy ain't going down because they probably just passed on to a better place.
We got a shot going.
This is to Jamie D. I don't even know Jamie D, but
don't
this
know
is to
Jamie
Jamie D.
I might know Jamie. I don't know.
You do know, or we're gonna talk about
Alright,
this
we'll talk about
off. This is
Off mic.
I gotcha.
Jamie
Cheers.
D.
this is mildly. This is actually pretty appropriate. So, see you next week.
Bye,
See you next
everybody.
week, savages.
Mwah.